What would your reaction be if I told you that some of the biggest and most successful organizations today are walking dinosaurs? I'll throw out some candidates, but you could take your pick from any number of major corporations that are familiar household names. General Motors, Yahoo, Radio Shack, oops, already gone. Best Buy, Sears, Target. Each of these companies was a category maker or leader in its day. Each grew to be a large enterprise that outpaced most competitors. And each has been caught flat-footed in this new era. You may look at that list and think that's crazy talk. Flat-footed? Some of these companies continue to do very well. And yes, some of them are still very successful in purely financial terms. General Motors is number 6 on the Fortune 100 list. Best Buy is number 72. But look beyond those rankings and you'll see that more nimble and adaptive organizations are nipping at their heels with disruptive services and approaches that are doing better at meeting customer needs. Irrelevancy is much closer than any of them would prefer to believe, and there's a good chance they'll too be siloed, stuck, and slow to respond in the face of even the most dire threat. Today we're seeing a great shift in the organizations that win now versus those that won in the past. Companies like Google, Amazon, Netflix, and Facebook have joined the Fortune 500, while many of the old guard, Kodak, the New York Times, and Compaq, have been unceremoniously pushed out. And that turnover is happening much more quickly than anyone might have predicted. 50 years ago, most firms were expected to last 75 years on the Fortune 500 list. Today, the average life expectancy is down to 15 years. In 2014, only 61 companies from the Fortune 500 list in 1955 remain. At the current turnover rate, it's safe to say the list 50 years from now will be entirely made up of companies that don't currently exist. Shouldn't that shake the confidence of anyone who leads, works for, or invests in a company today? I've spent the best and most creative years of my career trying to figure out why some organizations thrive and manage to change their markets and the world, while others, even those with great promise, visionary leaders, amazing products, and periods of success, struggle to matter, frequently get in their own way, frustrate customers more often than they delight them, and thwart or stifle talented people rather than develop and inspire them. I've worked at or worked with both kinds of organizations, and the differences can be subtle. Across the board, the CEOs and executives are invariably intelligent and capable. There are heaps of talented and committed people throughout the ranks. Products and services are often compelling, and overall intentions are good. Yet in struggling organizations, there's something missing. To a critical but observant eye, organizations that struggle seem to lack the zest, vibrancy, and collective will needed to consistently solve problems, surmount obstacles, and innovate in big ways and small. That energy may be there in pockets, but unfortunately, it is usually stifled or squashed for confusing and complex reasons. Sometimes the leadership gets in the way, but more often than not, the organization itself seems to be the problem. It's as though the energy inherent in talented people and creative ideas is out of sync with deeper priorities, including the way decisions are made, how successes and failures are handled, how workflow is planned, and resources are allocated. When I analyze struggling organizations as a consultant, I find it easy to point out the processes or approaches that bog down efficiency or get in the way of meeting customer needs, or to call out individual leaders or managers who are having a toxic effect on colleagues or reports, or to identify gaps between strategy and innovation and the demands of the market. Yet I've come to realize that the root cause is more fundamental. The difference most often comes down to an emphasis on what versus how. The business of the organization is its what goods it produces, what services it provides, what solutions it offers.